Akyrian Systems is a company that develops software for pharmaceutical and medical device sponsors that are performing clinical trials on new medicines and devices. And we help them with a novel way of collecting data from their investigators, their doctors' offices. Before we started with Enzyme, we were very much a quote unquote paper-based system. Of course, we weren't actually using paper, but we were using combinations of Google Drive, Microsoft Word, and actually, I think we did have some paper documents that we have stored in a fireproof safe. So very old school, very manual, I guess, if you will. It just wasn't the ideal solution, certainly as we started to scale and try and meet the requirements for some of our customers. It became really obvious that a quality management system was vital for our scalability. We look primarily at Viva, of course, they have a document management system. We thought that Enzyme provided more in terms of just a comprehensive view on compliance. And we looked at a couple of other smaller vendors as well that seem to be in some stage of development, but we really did feel that the Enzyme product was super well-rounded, very mature in that regard, we liked the way that there was adoption amongst a number of clients that were sort of similar in industry as well as sort of where they were in development. So yeah, that gave us a lot of comfort in making a decision. When we looked, we were very particular about some of the core requirements that we were looking for. A lot of that, of course, had to do with document management, but it also extended out into other features like CAPA, risk management, audit controls, so on. We really felt that the Enzyme platform met all those requirements. We also felt that the system was easy to use, didn't require kind of a steep learning curve necessarily. We felt that everything was really quite intuitive and integrated nicely with a lot of the things that we already had in place, like Google Drive, for instance. So it was a nice fit in that regard. So our experience overall to date with Enzyme has been really great. I mean, I think it's lived up to all of our expectations in terms of what we wanted to facilitate the control of different documents and the various things that we used to do manually. In that regard, it's almost, there's no comparison, compared to what we used to do using a variety of, our own control spreadsheets, Excel, what have you. It's just night and day in terms of the ability to control things and have a single source of truth. So it's been really great in terms of our experience. The one thing that was a really onerous task, a heavy lift for us to do any other way was just training, and managing training across the organization, as well as managing the content and curriculum of the training. And Enzyme has served us really well in terms of A, keeping track of our org chart, B, keeping track of the various roles within our org chart, and then C, correlating that to a matrix of training material that would be required for each of the roles, and then letting us actually upload the content of those tutorials, I guess, if you will, in the form of videos, which we've created, PowerPoint slides, which we've created, as well as just the documents themselves, and to then be able to tie that with, you know, a proof of training with an electronic signature. It's just to be able to have done that with a software product that gives us that infrastructure has been fantastic. If we had to do that manually as one-offs for every bit of training, it would have killed us. So it's been really great in that regard. So we started with the pre-market plan and ultimately added the post-market plan, just because once we felt comfortable enough with the pre-market features, it seemed like a natural next step to then expand the functionality into everything that was post-market, including risk management, the kappa functionality. I think that it was our way of kind of, you know, dipping our toe in the water first with an initial, you know, subset of features, and then to expand it into the full set. And it's, you know, been very valuable in that way. Again, partly because it's all one single location for our employees to go to in terms of seeking that, you know, source of truth. Literally everything is done within Enzyme from a quality perspective. It's all managed in one platform. It's not multiple platforms that they have to log into. And there's excellent sort of, you know, interplay between the functionalities in the document section versus, you know, the training modules. They all kind of interrelate to each other. So that was a natural next step for us once we got comfortable with the pre-market plan. Really great to see that it's the same people who helped us in our onboarding process who have continued to be our point of contact all the way through. And anytime we've had questions, you know, we've been able to direct them to the same people that we're already familiar with, who are familiar with us. And it's been just refreshing. We get responses that are very timely. And also, quite frankly, when we identify things that we think would be really helpful features, we get the sense that, you know, somebody's listening to us. We've even seen some of those things come through in the product development. So we do feel like our voice is being heard, and it's with the same people that we've become familiar with in that onboarding process. So I can only say really outstanding things about the service element of Enzyme so far.